Start with me here in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. But then as you read verse 2, wait a minute. The earth was formless and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. What in the world happened? Did God create the world and then destroy it and start over? That's exactly what we're going to look at in this video. I call it the lost world, God erased from history. Have you ever heard of the gap theory? Basically, it says that between Genesis 1:1 and 1:2, there was a full world that God created, people and everything. But it was destroyed because of Lucifer's rebellion, which we see here in Isaiah 14. How do we know there were people on the earth before Adam? Well, let's go back to Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. Then God said, "Let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters to divide the waters from the waters, and let it divide the earth from the face of it." So God made the firmament and divided the waters, which were under the firmament, from the waters above the firmament. And it was so. God called the firmament heaven. And there was evening, and there was morning, the fourth day. So here in Genesis 1:14, the Hebrew word for firmament is rakia, which some people say implies that God had to fill it up, like filling up a basket, filling up a vessel. And if you look at the Hebrew word fill, it's the word malal, and it can also mean to replenish. So some people say this word malal implies a prior population that God had to replenish or fill again, and they use that to argue for the gap theory. Now, most scholars reject that, but it does make you think, could there have been a lost world before Adam? Now, the counterpoint is, well, the Bible calls Adam the first man, 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 45. And so it is written, the first man, Adam, became a living being. The last Adam became a life-giving spirit. So if Adam was the first man, how could there have been other men before him? So the Bible seems pretty clear that Adam was the first man. So this idea of a lost world is not biblical. Okay, what am I getting at? I'm getting at this. People sometimes try to use proof texts, one verse or two verses, to argue for some big theological system. And you always want to be careful of that. You never want to base your theology on one verse, much less two verses. Let me give you another example. Some people say that Genesis 6:4 says that the Nephilim were on the earth before the flood, and therefore there had to have been giants before the flood. Okay, well, fine. Nephilim means giants. But notice what it says right there in Genesis 6:4. It says the sons of God came in, and they saw that the daughters of men were beautiful. And they took wives for themselves, one from each, and they bore children to them, the mighty men who were of old, the giants, the Nephilim. Verse 4. It doesn't say that they were born before the flood. It says the Nephilim were born when the sons of God came in and took wives for themselves. So some people will isolate that verse and say, see, there were giants on the earth before the flood. If you actually read the chapter, it doesn't say that at all. Here's my question for you. Do you think there was a civilization on the earth that God completely erased before Adam? Or do you think that this is just people reading into the text and finding extra biblical ideas in the text? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, please give us an encouraging thumbs up. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss an upload. And don't forget to share your thoughts, insights, and comments below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.